Welcome to this episode of the planDisney podcast, presented by State Farm. With State Farm, you can personalize your policy with options to help you find a surprisingly great rate. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Welcome to this month's episode of the planDisney podcast, and it's Save the Galaxy time. As you can tell by my voice, I saved the galaxy quite a few times. Hi there, I am the host of this podcast, Amiyrah Martin, and I'm also a former planDisney panelist. I'm a wife and a mom of 3, which makes me basically an everyday superhero. In a few minutes, I'm going to introduce you to some fabulous planDisney panelists. Also, they're going to give us their take on Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which just opened here at EPCOT at Walt Disney World. Plus, we're going to check in with the Walt Disney Imagineers to find out what it took to bring the first Otherworld showcase here to EPCOT. Okay, there's so much to cover, but first things first, let's introduce these amazing panelists. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, this is sort of your fault because,
we were on the ride with you and we heard how loud you were screaming the
oh
whole
my
time.
goodness.
Well, we all were. So.
I know. But I want to highlight you guys. Let's learn a little bit more about you. Mike, let's start with you.
Great. So my name's Mike, and I'm originally from Liverpool, England. I now live in Virginia, where I'm a pastor of a local church. I'm not the superhero in my family. That would be my wife of 12 years. We have 2 little mouseketeers who I love very much. We all love Disney. I'm a Walt Disney World specialist. Maybe I can tell you a bit about what planDisney is. So planDisney is a group of people who are basically fellow guests who love Disney, and we want to share our advice and our expertise with others. And so for people who are planning a Disney vacation and who have questions about that vacation, they can reach out to planDisney and they'll get a response from a fellow guest who has probably done what they've done before and so can offer their personal experience and advice.
Perfect. That sounds like you are a superhero, Mike.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
Okay.
So I was just waiting for you to affirm me,
great.
but thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Diana, how about you?
Hi, I'm Diana. I'm from Long Island. I'm a Walt Disney World specialist, but I like to think of myself as a sort of adults-only vacation planner specialist because I'm almost always visiting with a group of adult friends. So I'm an expert on all things where to get the best drinks and food. I'm going to talk about food a lot. I eat a lot. And I have been married to my husband for 7 years, but we are high school sweethearts. We've been together for 17 years. And somehow we still like each other. And, we have 2 dogs that I'm obsessed with, an unhealthy amount. And yeah, I'm so excited to be here.
I love it. Dog mom, represent.
Dog moms represent.
Love it.
Represent.
Ana, how about you, my dear?
Well, hi, I'm Ana. I am from Mexico City, Mexico. I like to think of Mexicans as true superheroes. So here I am representing. I am actually a recent college graduate. Yeah, I just graduated from international relations. So I know stuff about the world, which is why I really like EPCOT and the World Showcase. I am also obsessed with my dog, so I can totally relate to you guys. And well, I obviously can also answer questions en español para todos nuestros amigos. And yeah, that's basically all there is to know about me.
We have to talk about this attraction behind us.
Yes, we do.
So good.
Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
So
The
good.
best.
Okay, so before we hop into it, let's chat with Disney Imagineer Wyatt Winter to find out how they brought all of this to life here at EPCOT. Wyatt, thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm excited to be here.
Oh my gosh, as you can hear, so am I. I loved Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and I have a few questions for you.
Sounds
and
good.
I know that, so many of our audience, they're going to really enjoy getting little details from you today because you are a Disney Imagineer for this attraction.
I am, senior producer for this project and helping lead the team to bring this to life at EPCOT.
Oh my gosh, such a dream job it sounds like.
It is.
Okay, I have a big question for you.
Okay.
So, who are these visitors to EPCOT? And what have they brought us?
So these visitors are Xandarians.
Okay.
So Xandar, the planet, and people have come to EPCOT. They've set up the first Otherworld Showcase pavilion. So just like some of our other pavilions across the park, where we get to learn about different people and cultures, maybe technology.
Mhm.
So that's a big thing they're doing here. And we get to do that with Xandar now.
Oh my gosh. I love that they're here. They're going to teach us so much. Yes. Okay. So I have another very important question. So we have a villain, Isan,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Yes. Now, who is he? What does he want? What is he trying to do? But also, where do the Guardians of the Galaxy come in and all of that?
So Isan is probably the biggest villain we've ever had. He is larger than a planet.
Yes.
He's a celestial. So he comes in, he's been watching us, we find out, and he wants to take the cosmic generator that creates jump points that they can travel through space. Well, he's now going to use it to travel through time.
Ooh.
He wants to basically rewind Earth and change the course of humanity how he thinks it should be.
Okay. Cosmic rewinds. I got it.
It's coming together.
I got it. All right. Can you tell us a little bit more about the music? Now, that was probably one of my favorite parts. But I know there's epic music that we hear actually as we're experiencing the attraction, even the queue. But also, can you tell us about the music that actually happens during our experience of the attraction?
Yeah, so we have over 2 hours of brand new score that was done by Tyler Bates, who helped with the films, all uniquely created for this attraction.
Wow.
And so that's before the ride, on the ride, outside of the pavilion, you hear all of that. But then once you're on the ride, you got to have that mixtape that the Guardians are known for. And so you have 6 different songs.
Oh my gosh.
So as you get on there, you don't know which one you're going to get. But as you start that reverse launch and start that journey through space and time, you're going to really get to rock out with one of those songs.
Oh my goodness. I love that so much. And you even hear a little bit of it as you're exiting the ride. I noticed.
You do.
And so you're going to get a little groove going on there
Yep,
too.
keep that energy and party going.
Yes. Okay. So why is this attraction so perfect to be here in EPCOT?
So really, again, they're sharing their technology, their information. And a big thing is showing how we are all more alike than we are different.
Right.
We're born of the same stardust.
Yes.
And so that's a really kind of EPCOT message and something that the park has always been about and continues to be about. And so I thought that was a great way to kind of connect our worlds together here.
Now, our guests love Easter eggs at the Disney parks. So could you maybe share some of your favorites, but also maybe something that the guests should be really looking for as they experience the attraction?
So how about I give you something that you have to listen for?
Oh, I like that.
So my favorite is when you're on the ride, you've gone through that jump point, you've met up with Isan, the Guardians arrive on their ship, but you hear some music as they arrive.
Okay.
That is a new rock version of the original Universe of Energy song. So they are rocking out to that in there.
Oh
so
my
that's my
gosh.
favorite one.
Oh my goodness. Okay. You ended on a high note, which is very apropos.
Exactly.
Behind us.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here, Wyatt. This was super fun.
Thanks for
And
having
thank
me.
you for this amazing attraction.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome back, panelists. Now, we have so much to talk about.
We do.
So much
So
to talk
much.
about. I want to know, though, did you save the galaxy?
Of course
We
we
saved
did.
it
We did.
many times.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
Four
Okay.
Many,
times
many
in a row.
times. That's why our voices are
Yeah.
I know.
little
We
bit
did a lot
funky
of
this
screaming.
morning.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, so good. Oh my God. Okay, so let's hop into when you first walk into Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, what can guests expect as soon as they walk through those doors?
So before you actually walk in those doors, you can see the pavilion. So we all know that the World Showcase is all about the countries and the world, celebrating our world. But what about the other worlds? So this is actually the very first otherworldly pavilion here at EPCOT. It is the Xandar Pavilion. So when you see it, it's like so cool. And then you walk in and you get to meet the Xandarians. But before you do that, you get to look up and see the Galaxarium, where
So
you can
cool.
see the stars, the sun, other planets. It's just so, so cool. You get to like walk around and see everything. It was just great.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite parts about this attraction is how the line itself is the attraction.
Yes, it is.
I mean, there's so much to see in the Galaxarium, in the gallery, which is the next part that you go through after you get to the Galaxarium. And you can learn about Xandar and about the NovaCore. You can see some of their uniforms, models of NovaCore blasters. It's just so cool. There's so much to see. So yeah, you might end up waiting on a line, waiting to get on the attraction,
Right.
but you're going to be entertained the whole time because there's always something really cool and a lot of comedy bits. You might see the Guardians sneak up in the gallery to give you some information. One of the things I thought was really cool that you'll kind of learn about at that point is how Star-Lord visited EPCOT in the 80s. So a lot of the story of this attraction is about how he's telling the Xandarians about his time at EPCOT
Right.
and how
Yeah.
much he enjoyed it. So there's so much that you're going to see during the actual line before you get on the attraction. It just
And
makes it
there's
really special.
so many Easter eggs,
Oh
right?
my gosh, so many.
We were like counting them.
Yes.
And I know there's so many that we didn't get to see, but my favorite, I saw Walt Disney and I
Yeah.
almost lost it. Okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a little hint
It
Yeah.
is.
for
Yeah,
those
that's a good
listening.
Easter egg.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and once you progress in the line, you get to a couple of pre-shows, which are just really great, really funny. Like
Yeah.
they had me laughing every
Yeah.
time,
They're
Yeah.
great.
and they're not just funny, but just something to do with the music that's playing,
Right.
and even what's going on in those pre-shows. I won't ruin it, but I just felt the adrenaline start to pump through my body,
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
just like
I
getting me
know.
ready for I was psyched when the
Yeah.
pre-shows ended, and I was like, all right, here we go, let's ride this thing.
Oh my
They're really
gosh.
cool. There's some surprises, like Mike mentioned. But one of the things that I think is important to note when people are deciding whether or not they're going to ride this attraction is if you do have a light sensitivity during the pre-shows, there is a bit of that ride that is a lot of flashing lights. So you can skip that part and still enjoy the attraction because, sometimes I get a little bit wonky with lights in that way.
Okay.
But the attraction didn't bother me at all. But in that section, you might want to skip that. So you could just ask a cast member and they'll show you where to go.
And then once you get past the pre-show, you get to the ride vehicle itself, which is just really, really comfortable. Like I'm always wondering, like, is this thing going to be comfortable that I'm going to be sitting in? And it's a really cool vehicle, and it's really good to know that actually there's wheelchair access as well.
Yeah.
And so, so if you are in a wheelchair, if you have a family member in a wheelchair, then they can actually go on this ride as well. You have to transfer yourself,
Right.
But that's a really great thing. And something to be aware of, like a tip, is we sat at different places on the ride,
Oh, yeah,
and we felt that at the back was a little bit more intense than at the
Yeah.
front. I actually enjoyed the back more, even
Me
though
too.
there's no bad seats
Yeah.
on this ride.
There
If you
isn't.
get sick
Yeah.
easily, though,
Yeah.
you might want to
You might
avoid the
wanna
back,
be-
stick to the
Yes.
front.
Yeah.
But you definitely get flung around a little bit more in the back, but I like it. I'm a thrill seeker, so I
Yes.
thought that was
Great.
the best. Yeah.
So the middle for those who may be
Middle
teetering.
and front, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
The front's
Okay.
cool.
It's a teaser.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
thrill attraction, get to the back.
Yeah.
I agree.
Gotta
for
try it
sure.
out.
Yeah, and
Yep.
something else that's great about this ride is it's actually really family friendly. And so the height requirements are 42 inches.
Okay.
And so even young kids can go on this ride. And even if you have a child that isn't ready for this ride,
Mhm.
then parents will be glad to know there's also rider swap as well. And so that's something me and my wife have used before, is one of us will go on the ride and then one of us will wait with the kids, and then we can actually swap, and the second parent doesn't have to wait in the line like the
Right.
first parent did. It's a really great thing for families of young kids.
That's
Yeah.
great.
I
Yeah.
love that.
It is great. And I know you mentioned that you have a little kiddo. That is actually the height requirement.
Yes,
So,
so she has the height requirement. I'm not sure if she's ready for
okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy
Right.
Cosmic Rewind just yet. And so maybe that'll be an extra year or two, even though she's a thrill seeker. But you might find that your child is ready.
Right.
So,
yeah. We were in the same boat because I have my 7-year-old is about that height.
Yeah.
But he is a thrill seeker. so
Yes, he's ready.
he's
He's
ready.
ready to save the galaxy.
He is ready to save the galaxy. Yes.
We should talk about the songs, because
Oh
one
my
of the
gosh.
one of the for me, so the best thing about this ride is the anticipation of waiting for the song you're gonna get
Yes.
on the ride. And
gosh.
so there's 6 different songs, and Diana can tell you about them in a second, but there's 6 different songs that you can get on the ride. And so we were just waiting for certain songs, and then as soon as it hits, you just look at each other and you're like, yes, you're like high-fiving each other while you're flying back, so it's really fun.
Oh my gosh.
It is so fun. And we have to give you just a little bit of time to talk about the songs? Because
the
I know
songs are amazing.
Yes, you had so much fun with them.
I love that genre, the disco, 70s, 80s music. And this it hit the nail on the head. Each song is amazing, unexpected.
Yes.
But he's so right. When you're looking for a specific song, they're all amazing. Each one was better than the last. But then you hear it and you just cheer and get so excited. But there were some songs that were unexpected. Everybody Wants to Rule the World. That song is so good on its own. But I was curious what that was going to be like when I saw it on the playlist. And it was really cool. It was a little slower, so it gave you a different feel as you're kind of going around the ride than, One Way or Another did,
Right.
which
That
was
was
a
a
little
good
bit
one.
faster. That was a really good one. Congo was so much fun. We're all dancing on the ride like this during the whole song. And it's just so exciting. But I think all of us were really excited to get September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. We all screamed and shouted at the end when we got that one. It was just so cool. And they each give you a completely different ride experience. So if you are able to ride multiple times, it's not going to be the same. It's always going to feel different, which I think is really cool.
And I think that's something I felt. So, we had the joy of going on it 6 times. You went on it 7 times. You went on it 7 times. I went on it 8 times. Okay, so we went on it multiple times, for research purposes, obviously.
Of
So,
course.
but what I felt like as I was when I went on it the 6th time, it hit me. I was like, that time was just as fun as the first time, and it made me think this ride has such great re-rideability.
Yeah.
So you could just go on it over and over again, and every time would be brilliant.
It gets better every
Yeah.
time.
It's
Like
great.
we kept looking at each other and being like, that was better than last time somehow.
Yeah.
It was great.
I just can't get over how much we laughed on that
We
ride.
did.
I mean, that's one of my favorite things about any attraction is I feel like when I'm there with my friends, I'm just laughing with them and connecting with them. But we were on it together the first ride, and we could not stop laughing. We were holding on to each other, and our hair was flying around, and we just looked at each other, just completely mouths on the floor. It was just insane, but it's so much fun, and you will connect with your friends and your family in that moment because you're just having this awesome experience together.
It's fun.
Yeah, I don't think I've been on a ride before where I've laughed and screamed and danced
know.
at the
Danced
same
and
time,
Yeah, it's so funny.
So good. Now, we're here at the media event, and I know you got to speak to some of the Disney Imagineers about this whole area here and the attraction. Were there some really fun facts or cool things that you learned?
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool speaking to a Disney Imagineer. And so, one of the things that she told me was that really this ride is quite unique and it has this new technology, something they're calling the omni coaster.
Okay.
Which is like a roller coaster, except the ride car is something that turns as you're on it.
Okay.
And so as you're flying at crazy speeds, it turns you different directions and it faces you where it wants to face you.
Right.
And so it's something that it just immerses you more in the actual story of the ride. And that's another thing. It's not just a roller coaster. You feel like you're in a story. You're in a superhero story. And so that's really fascinating.
And it's so smooth.
It is really
it's really
So
smooth.
Yeah.
Super smooth.
And so I actually had the chance to speak to a cast member at Treasures of Xandar, and they were telling me that they sell Xandarian credits, which is their currency.
Oh my gosh.
They're very, very cool. They're like these plastic bricks. They're yellow, blue, and black. You can purchase them for yourself, use them if you want. I don't know. And they're so cool. I think they're amazing.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
an awesome
goodness.
little collectible.
Yeah.
To take home. Yeah.
And something you wouldn't think of,
Right.
which is really great. And
Yeah.
I love that it's sticking with the theme of the pavilion. You're learning about their money system, their
Right.
credits, which is really
Everything,
great.
yeah.
Now, you mentioned merchandise. So I feel like we should transition into one of my favorite things, the gift shop.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what that experience is when you walk in and you see all of that amazing Guardians of the Galaxy merchandise.
I think, again, I'm a little obsessed with the 70s and the disco era, and there's a lot of vintage style merchandise in the store, but there's also really cool Xandar style stuff. So water bottles that have Novacore blasters on them, Star-Lord's jacket, which is really cool. Mike did a really nice little fashion show for us in that
I
jacket.
did. I tried
He
to be
looked
the
really
Star-Lord,
good.
but I don't think I pulled it off.
Oh, you
I think you did. You nailed it.
No.
It was
Chris
good.
Pratt has it.
That's
Has it better than
great.
me. So, yeah.
Gamora's vest they have as well.
Yeah.
Lots of Groot merchandise if you're a Groot fan.
Oh, I'm a Groot fan.
Oh, yeah.
I love Groot.
Baby
and
Groot or Big Groot?
All Groots.
Okay.
I just really love Groot. So I was just like staring at all the merchandise like, So cool.
It's really awesome.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Now, I know there's a couple of options when it comes to experiencing this brand new attraction. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, you actually have two options.
Okay.
So your first option would be to purchase an individual lightning lane for it,
Okay.
which is really great, I think. And your second option would be to jump into the virtual queue. So like you can do it from your hotel room at 7 a.m. Or if you're already at EPCOT, you can do it at 1 p.m.
Okay,
So,
perfect. All right. And you have to,
You'll definitely want to have your My Disney Experience app ready.
there you go.
Ready to go. I usually like to set a few alarms in the morning to make sure I'm ready to hop on the virtual queue or to grab my lightning lanes. I'm not a morning person, so I need about 4 or 5 before I get on to make my selection. So yeah, you just want to make sure that you're on your My Disney Experience app.
Gotcha.
It's worth mentioning that if you wait too late, you might find that there are no more individual lightning lanes left
Right.
because it's going to be a popular
do
attraction.
it first thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, so the new Wonders of Xandar Pavilion is just part of the transformation that's actually happening at Epcot, right? What else is new?
Yeah, well, a ride that opened a number of months ago, which I love, is Remy's Ratatouille Adventure.
Yeah.
And so this ride just immerses you as soon as you enter the queue. It basically just sweeps you off to Paris, and all of a sudden you find yourself in the story of Ratatouille. And you know, like again, as a dad, I'm always looking for rides that the whole family can enjoy.
Right.
And Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is that ride where every member of the family, no matter how big or small, can enjoy that ride equally as much.
One of my favorite things about Remy is one of the little features that the Imagineers come up with is if you look down as you're exiting, because remember that you have been shrunk down to the size of Remy and his friends. So you're the size of a mouse.
Right.
And so the tiles on the floor are super, super big. And then as you start to exit and go out towards Epcot, they go back to normal size. So it's just small little details like that that really make the attraction so special. I love when you catch those things.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so the ride itself, like Dana said, you're shrunk down to the size of a rat, and then all of a sudden you're in Gusteau's kitchen in Paris, and you're trying to get out, and you're weaving your way through different rooms, and every room is different, and things are big and you're small, and so it's just a really fun. It literally feels like you're in the movie.
Right. Yes. It's like perfect details everywhere you look.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful. And you can just feel like you're taken there, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Now, there's another big detail that's happening. Can you tell us a little bit more about Connections Café and Eatery?
So I told you I was going to talk a lot about food.
Yes.
I like to eat. So Connections Café and Eatery was really exciting. We were so excited to try it. I was really pumped to try it. And try it, I did. I ordered pretty much the whole menu.
Oh my gosh.
I could not control myself.
She did.
I ordered a lot. They were looking at me like, are you going to eat all that? And I was like, probably not, but I'm going to try. I got the chicken sandwich, the fried chicken sandwich.
Okay.
I had the General Tso's salad.
So good.
Which those were so good. And it
Amazing.
was so nice to see that there was such a nice mix of comfort foods like a fried chicken sandwich, but also a nice fresh salad. I mean, Mike and I were talking about how it was probably one of the best salads we'd ever had.
Yeah,
it was really, really good.
It was really
Wow.
good.
But I think the showstopper for me was the Liege waffle. This thing, I cannot get over it. I mean, it's covered in pearl sugar.
Yeah.
So when they fry it up, it gets this crispy coating that is really unexpected. And it's covered in strawberries and chantilly cream. And it might be, I'm going to say it, it might be my new favorite sweet treat in all of Walt Disney World, because it was that good.
Yeah, it's not sickly at all.
No.
And that sugar you're talking about,
Yeah.
it's like it just dances on your tongue. It's
Yeah.
like a party in the mouth. You know, it was amazing.
It was so good. And just being in Connections Eatery and Cafe is a really nice experience. I mean, if you look around, there's a beautiful mural about coming together. And it's really cool. One of the features that the team at Connections let us know about was that if you look, it starts at sunrise and ends in sunset. So it's a really cool mural. And I also really enjoyed the seating options. So obviously you have your regular table and chairs, but there were some lounge seating as well with comfy chairs and a little side table. So it's a really nice, cool, air-conditioned spot to go and take a break, grab a coffee at the new Starbucks location within Connections. If somebody needs a break, if the baby needs a nap, or you just need to take a load off, it's a really nice new spot to kind of hang out in the middle of the day.
comfortable.
Yeah,
And
it was
also,
really cool.
speaking of the Liège waffle, which is
I guess that's
really
the right way to
good.
say it.
There we go.
It's really good. It's delicious. And speaking of connections and the waffle,
Yeah.
when I bit into it, it tasted just like pan de muerto, which is a special Mexican Day of the Dead bread,
Yeah.
which is really, really good. So I
Right.
just like bit into it and was like, wait, whoa. That was amazing.
And it makes sense because that's what Connections is all about.
Right.
Is about coming together with different cultures, different foods, different styles. And so I think that really makes sense. I love that.
Yeah. And I love that you get to experience so many different countries,
Right.
which is great. So Ana, I know that EPCOT is your favorite park.
Yes, it
and
is.
that's exactly why, because you get to experience so many countries all at one time.
Yep.
Now, can you tell me about an attraction, actually an experience where we can enjoy and experience even more countries, right? All together?
Oh, yes. The new nighttime spectacular Harmonious is
Yeah.
just
So
so
good.
beautiful,
Yes.
so good. The music is amazing. And it's just what you talked about, right? It's about getting really into the stories that we love, the Disney stories that we love,
Mhm.
but in different languages
Yeah.
with so much color, fountains, projections. It's just so beautiful. And of course, my favorite, fireworks.
Yeah.
I
So
really,
good.
really love Frozen. So at the very beginning, you might hear a little bit of those songs pitched in, and it's just amazing. It's a
Yeah.
very, very good treat.
So when it comes to Harmonious, do you guys have your favorite areas where you like to actually experience
Oh, yeah.
that
I do. My favorite part is from the Italy pavilion, right by the gondolas. Not a lot of people stand there, so it's a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
You're right in the middle of everything. So you're going to see all the action, and it's really cool.
Yeah. I always tell people, yes, it's a 360 show, but you want to look for the center of that ring. When you get to
Yeah.
World Showcase, there's going to be a big ring in the center there, and just look for the middle of it. And that's going to be a really good place to see Harmonious.
There's a lot more coming though, right? Is there anything else that we should know about?
Yeah, so my kids, they love Moana and they love water.
Okay.
Ask my bathroom floor. That'll tell you that they love water. And so one of the great things coming to Epcot is something called Journey of Water.
Okay.
So it's this it's a way for kids and adults to interact with water and to play and discover and explore and just really learn about the importance of water and the importance of water on our planet, our relationship to water, particularly on hot Epcot days. And so, yesterday was
Oh my gosh.
was a
Oh,
scorcher.
goodness.
I mean,
Yeah.
and today's going to be the same. I mean, yesterday, if it was that hot in England, we'd all melt. There'd be no such thing as England anymore. And so it was so hot, and I was like, I wish Journey of Water was there so I can go and
Yeah.
cool
Right.
down. And so I think on those hot Epcot days, families are just going to love this new attraction.
So what I found really interesting when we were talking with the cast members about this awesome new experience is that, you can get in as involved as you want to. You can get as wet as you want to, or you can sit back and just kind of enjoy the ambiance. It's going to be really cool and relaxing. So you can interact with the different parts of the attraction, or you can just sit back and relax. It's really up to you. It's your own experience. And one experience is never going to be the same as another. So it's really about how you want to engage and interact with it. So it's really interesting.
There's also other things happening. Something that I
Yeah.
know, if you've experienced Epcot before, you may have heard of it, but there's a new surprise happening, right?
Yeah, so there's an exciting new CommuniCore Hall and Plaza is coming to World Celebration.
Yes.
And it's going to be really interesting because, the festivals have become such an exciting part of visiting Epcot. And again, talking about food, we all love the food, especially the food from the festivals. So what CommuniCore is going to offer is going to be new areas to enjoy these festivals. So there's going to be an indoor hall where you can do things like for Festival of the Arts, an art demonstration or a painting class, or, for Food and Wine Festival, maybe have a sommelier coming in to do a wine tasting. So an indoor space, but then outside there's going to be stages for different shows, big and small. And what I'm really excited about is that there's going to be more space to enjoy and connect during the festivals, to sit, eat your food, enjoy your drinks. I don't know about you guys, but I'm always grabbing a lot of different foods. So I'm balancing it over a trash can. But what the team told us is that there's going to be more tables and different areas to enjoy the festival and kind of relax and unwind and, experience it together with your family. So I'm really, really excited about that one.
That's going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, I have some news to share, you guys.
Ooh.
So a guest may remember that Soul of Jazz exhibit is here at EPCOT. It's also going to be available at Disneyland now.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
great.
exciting.
I know, that's so cool, right? So June is Black Music Appreciation Month. And we heard from Disney that they're doing a little music research right now for the new Tiana attraction that's coming very
Cool.
soon.
Can't wait.
Yes, so fun. So they told us that we may hear some announcements at Essence Fest, which is really great. So we may hear some updates on that very soon. So stay tuned for those. You don't want to miss that. So sadly, it's almost time to go. I know. But before we do, it's lightning round time.
Yay.
You guys ready for this?
Ready.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question, and I need the very first answer that comes to your mind when I ask you.
Okay.
Okay?
Ready.
Yeah.
All right. If you were a superhero, what would your superpower be?
Flying.
Time travel.
Teletransportation. I'd come to Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
So one word to describe the new Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Exhilarating.
Going with groovy.
Unexpected.
Which song was your favorite to ride to?
I've got to go with September by Earth, Wind and Fire.
Mhm. September.
Can't miss restaurant at Epcot.
Teben Edo in the Japan Pavilion.
Yeah. Space 220. Yeah.
The Garden Grill.
Mm.
What's an underrated Epcot activity or attraction that you recommend?
I really enjoy the movies in some of the pavilions. The one I like the most is Impressions de France in the France Pavilion.
It's adored by us Disney adults, but not a lot of other people. So I'm going with Living with the Land.
Gran Fiesta Tour starring the Three Caballeros.
Do you start in Mexico or Canada?
Well, I feel like because Anna's here, I have to say
Yeah.
Mexico, but even if you weren't here, I'd still say Mexico.
I love that.
Yeah. Mexico every time.
Of course.
No
Canada.
question.
I'm just kidding. Mexico.
All right. You almost got me. I thought you were going to say Canada. Thank you all so much. And thank you guys for tuning into this episode of the planDisney podcast. Now, make sure to go back and listen to our special episode where we talked all things Star Wars at Disney parks. You don't want to miss that one. And if you're enjoying this podcast, be sure to leave us a review. You can catch a brand new episode of the planDisney podcast every third Wednesday of the month. Now, I love that you guys are here. I love that you're experiencing this podcast. But if you want to learn even more about the planDisney panel, be sure to follow them over at planDisney panel on Instagram and planDisney over on Twitter. If you have a question of your own, you can ask that question at plandisney.com, and the panelists would love to answer it for you. If you want the latest news, be sure to stop by Disney Parks blog. Now, I'm so excited you guys are here. A super sized thank you to you
Thanks
and
for
all
having
of
us.
your tips for
Thank
Thank
today.
you.
And another big thank you to our sponsor, State Farm. Make sure you tune into our next podcast episode where we'll be talking all things Disney Resort Hotels. We'll see you then.